The Stoics believed that a tranquil life is built not on changing the world, but on seeing it clearly. And clarity demands we strip away our assumptions, our ego, our fears, even our cherished beliefs. In this episode, we dive deep into what it means to think objectively, to remove the noise, and cultivate true intellectual independence. We'll cover how to unlearn habitual thought patterns, why guarding your mind is more vital than guarding your home, the danger of ego during success, and how to use "I don't know" as a tool of power. Let's begin the path to unbiased thought. Lesson 1. Thought is architecture. Your mind is a construction site. Every thought is a brick. The mind isn't just a passive receiver of experience. It's a builder. Every idea you dwell on, every judgment you make, every story you tell yourself is a brick in the mental house you're living in. Marcus Aurelius said, "Your mind will take the shape of what you frequently hold in thought." This means you are the architect of your reality. Let that sink in. You become what you habitually think. If your dominant thoughts are anxious, you become anxiety. If they're angry, you radiate bitterness. But if they're focused, grateful, disciplined, you begin to transform into that. That's not psychology, that's Stoicism. Lesson 2, the mental filter. Not everything deserves your attention. Think of your mind like a temple. You wouldn't let thieves or vandals walk in and deface the walls. So why do we allow toxic content, dramatic news, and destructive thoughts to set up shop in our minds, rent-free? The Stoics believed in mental hygiene, in being ruthlessly selective with what you allow in. Marcus Aurelius once warned, "Your integrity is your own. Guard it." We live in an era of infinite distraction. Notifications, opinions, hot takes, fear-driven headlines. The Stoic doesn't absorb everything. They filter, they pause, they ask, does this thought serve me? Does it help me act in alignment with reason? Does it make me better or bitter? Remember, the quality of your life reflects the quality of what you consume mentally. Lesson 3, the pause between stimulus and reaction. Clear thinking begins in stillness. When something happens, your first reaction isn't your truest self. It's a flash of ego, fear, habit. That's why the Stoics emphasized the pause. Before you react, pause. Before you assume, pause. Before you speak, pause. Epictetus taught, it's not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. That space between stimulus and response, that's where wisdom lives. The pause gives you a moment to reflect. What story am I telling myself? Is this judgment true or just familiar? What would a rational person do here? Train yourself to pause. That's when clarity enters. Lesson 4. See the world as it is, not as you wish it were. Life doesn't owe you fairness, or convenience, or explanations. It simply unfolds. The Stoic task is not to control life, but to see it clearly. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." You might believe that person disrespected you, but is that a fact or an interpretation? You might think your life is off track, but is it off track or just different than what your ego expected? Unbiased thought means separating the raw event from your colored reaction. It means stripping away emotion to examine the event as a surgeon examines tissue with calm focus. Train yourself to ask, what are the actual facts? What am I adding with my emotions, projections, or expectations? The Stoic sees life through the eyes of truth, not ego. Lesson 5. Ego is the great distorter. The louder the praise, the more silence you need. Ego loves attention. It feeds on likes, applause, and admiration. But what the world celebrates can often be a trap. Success can rot you from the inside if you aren't careful. Seneca warned, prosperity is not without many fears and distastes. In other words, the higher you rise, the more tempting it becomes to believe your own myth. The Stoic response? Stay grounded, remain a student, focus on the work, not the recognition. True greatness is silent. It doesn't seek praise, it seeks improvement. Ask yourself, am I still hungry to grow, or am I full on compliments and comfort? Stay small in your mind, even when the world says you're big. Lesson 6, the inner circle. the Stoic art of prioritizing what truly matters. Freedom begins where control ends. At the heart of Stoicism is a deceptively simple distinction. There are things within your control and things that never were. Your thoughts, your choices, your reactions. These are yours. But other people's opinions, the outcome of a decision, the actions of fate, those belong to the world. Epictetus taught, happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control and some things are not. So what does this mean in practice? It means narrowing your focus to your inner circle, the mental, emotional, and spiritual territory that is truly yours. Not the chaos of the world, not the drama of your peers, not the timeline of someone else's success. When you step out of your lane, you suffer. When you stay in your lane, you soar. Let go of what isn't yours to carry, the need to impress, the urge to control others, the desire to fix what cannot be fixed, and instead, double down on what is yours. Your response to difficulty, your commitment to virtue, your attention, your effort, your integrity. This is how you begin to live with clarity, without the burden of what never belonged to you in the first place. Lesson 7. Detach from the herd, the courage to think differently. When the crowd rushes forward, the Stoic stands still. Most people don't think. They echo. They believe what's popular. They follow what's trending. They conform to survive. But the Stoic thinks independently. He questions what others accept. She examines what others ignore. Marcus Aurelius warned, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. The herd mentality is seductive. It promises safety, belonging, ease, but it costs you something far greater, your sovereignty of mind. To detach from the herd is not to become a loner. It is to become free, free from the opinions of the masses, free from the pressure to agree, free from the fear of standing alone. Train yourself to think slowly, to speak intentionally, and to act only when your conscience, not the crowd, gives the green light. Because a quiet, reasoning mind is more powerful than 1,000 loud voices repeating each other. Lesson 8. Train for adversity. Prepare the mind before the storm. A calm mind is not born, it is built. Peace of mind isn't a gift, it's a skill. And like any skill, it's forged in adversity. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, the anticipation of hardship. Not to invite suffering, but to prepare for it. Seneca urged, he robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand. Ask yourself, what would I do if I lost what I love? How would I respond if everything fell apart? Can I remain composed in the face of betrayal, failure, or chaos? These are not negative thoughts. They are training scenarios. Think of your mind as a soldier. It needs drills. It needs exposure to hardship in safe environments. So when the real test arrives, you don't collapse. You respond. You don't break. You act. So rehearse discomfort, visualize setbacks, and steel yourself for what life may throw your way, because a trained mind doesn't fear adversity, it expects it. Lesson 9. Reframe the story. Choose the meaning that sets you free. The facts are fixed. The story is not. Life will bring you hardship. That's not up for debate. What is up for debate is what that hardship means. You didn't get the job. Your relationship ended. You were criticized unfairly. What now? The average mind spirals. The Stoic reframes. Marcus Aurelius said, choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. This isn't denial, it's power. Power to assign meaning, power to change the angle, power to transform pain into growth. Ask yourself, what's the lesson hidden in this? How can this experience serve my character? Who can I become because of this? Not in spite of it. You can't control what happened, but you can choose the narrative. You are both the author and the reader of your life story, so write one that empowers you. Lesson 10. Think like a philosopher, living with depth in a shallow world. Wisdom is the compass. Reason is the map. Philosophy isn't for ivory towers or endless debates. It's for real life. It's for people like you, navigating pain, pressure, and purpose in a chaotic world. The Stoic doesn't study philosophy to impress. They live it to survive, to thrive, to endure. Cleanthes once said, "Philosophy is the art of life." So, what does it mean to think like a philosopher? It means asking better questions than most people are willing to ask, choosing stillness over reaction, measuring success not by wealth, but by peace, acting not to gain applause, but to stay aligned with your values. While the world chases trends, the Stoic builds timeless principles. While others react, the Stoic reflects. And while many drift through life without direction, the Stoic uses philosophy as their compass. Always adjusting, always moving, always deepening. Think like a philosopher, and you'll live like a sage. If you found value in today's journey, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who's ready to sharpen their mind and reclaim their inner clarity. What we covered here, how to see through illusion, tame the ego, and think clearly, can be life-changing. But it's only the beginning. To take the next step on your Stoic path, I invite you to watch the next video on the end screen. In it, we'll dive even deeper into the art of protecting your peace from toxic people and negative environments. Perfect complement to everything we just explored. Because once you learn to see clearly, the next challenge is keeping your mind unshaken by those who try to pull you off course. Watch that next video now and continue building the life of reason, clarity, and resilience you were meant to live.